Good evening, everybody. My name is Lauren. Welcome to my super fun video. The time is now, drum roll please, 23:34, which that's military time, so civilian time, it's 11:34 at night. Booyah. This thing is due in, I don't know, about maybe 24 minutes, so let's try and knock this out as quick as possible. Haha. So it's crunch time. On an interesting note, we can finally put voices to faces and finally get to know get to know each other just a little bit better in this super exciting online class. Once again, my name is Lauren. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. Air handshake. Haha. And the topic of discussion on this monumental Super Bowl evening is about ethics. Go figure, right? So here we go. The definition of ethics is basically the moral principles that govern or help to decide a person or group's behavior. Fun fact, the term ethics is derived from the Greek word ethikos, I think, or ethikos. I'm going to go with ethikos. So thank you, Greeks. Super hard to pronounce, not sure why, but I'll just go with ethics for now. For me, a few of the elements of ethics stuck out a little bit more than others. The first is the principle of impartiality, there we go, which is the welfare and interests of each individual should be given the same weight as all others. In some instances, I do agree with this, but in many others, I do not. I suppose you're going to ask yourself, who is this woman, being me, to judge one life greater than the next? Well, that's just my opinion on this issue. I suppose being a combat vet drastically changes the norm of modern day ethics for me because of the environments I've spent time in. I've spent time across the United States and across the world. I mean, I've been to Afghanistan, spent some time in Germany, California, Wisconsin. I grew up in Greensville, Idaho. I'm from lots of crazy places. Spent time in Texas, Georgia, South Carolina, just for a few. 6 months in Alaska. I've been quite a few places, many different distances. A lot of fun too. If you go to Alaska, definitely try and do it. It's beautiful out there. But no matter where I've gone, I mean, I've seen the worst kinds of people, and believe me, race plays no factor here. No matter where you are in the world, there are still monsters that call themselves humans. Ethics will help me throughout my career as a vet tech to better tread through rough waters that this career field holds. I believe ethics will help me throughout my when a grieving, I believe ethics is going to help me, especially when a grieving family is deciding whether or not to say goodbye to one of their lifelong family members. Let's just say, for instance, someone comes in and their dog is extremely sick. Now, that's their best friend. That's been their best friend for countless years, whether it be 3, 5, 7, 10. That's a long time. And it's like, if they have to come to this decision that they're going to lose one of their family members, sometimes they don't want to say goodbye. And that can be a very rough time. And I believe to help, guide families through that, I would like to use the Socratic method from Socrates. I mean, we learn that sometimes you have to guide people through tough times, even when they don't want to face decisions like that. We have to guide them until they just decide which is the right decision for them. Whether, as much as it breaks your heart, it's going to be saying goodbye to your best friend, or thinking that, okay, if I maybe have a few more days left with them, I can finally give them the proper send-off that they deserve. In a sense, I can see why someone would want to do that, but also in the ethical sort of way that I would see that maybe trying to postpone saying goodbye is just going to put that animal in more pain. Unfortunately, that happens a lot more often than not. If we're unable to help an animal and it's their time to go, we have to, give that bad news. Using the Socratic method, you can help guide them to make the right decision, such as, well, I understand that you're going to want to say goodbye, which we can give you proper time to do that here. But if you want, say, 48 hours, he or she can be in massive pain throughout that whole entire time. And is that really worth pushing your dog to his uttermost limits just so you can say goodbye a few more times? Ethically, I don't believe so. I believe that if an animal is in great pain and suffering, I believe that we should be able to end their misery faster than, say, letting time take its course. as hard as that is to say, I think ethically that once a family member has come to that term, it's easier to say goodbye, and it feels like they're not suffering anymore. So it's a lot less painful than it is to keep them alive, which, as much as you'd love to, sometimes it's better to just let them go. But using the Socratic method, as I was saying, you can help guide them to make that right decision themselves instead of you pushing them saying, well, he's hurting a lot, so it's our best decision to do this. But let's say he's in constant pain, let them come to the conclusion that maybe it is time to say goodbye. And that's what ethics will use to help, I guess, guide me through that rough patch. So I want to say thank you very much. That's it for tonight. Tune in next week for more fun-filled ethics topics on our handy-dandy discussion board. Until then, have a lovely night. Once again, my name is Lauren. Thank you, and good night. Boop.